Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another 7Q character on Code Wars. This one is entitled Shared Bit Counter. So, instead of reading this time, I'll try to break down the problem. Basically, this exercise is to return true if after being given two integers, they share at least one bit twice. For example, this is 7 in binaries, this is 15 in binaries. Now, what do they have in common? They have ones common at index 1, 2, and 3. So they have 1 bits in common at the same location or position in the string. So we need at least 2 of them to return true. Another example, 10 and 15. Here, at index 0, they have ones, and at index 2, so those ones appear twice, so we have a true. Now, for 7 and 10, they have just 1 bit sharing, which is at index 2. So that is why we get a false. So the first approach, let me just call this num1, is to convert our two numbers to string. So that's for number 1. Num2 will be so to string is used to convert a number to binary. All other bases, you just need to put the base in parameters. Now I have to look through the numbers at the same time and compare bit after bit, and we can have let's take for example 43 and 77. Converted to binaries, they're going to have different length. So while looping through, I want to take the one with the longest length. For example, 7 in binary can be written in 3 bits. When you use this formula, it's going to be 1 1 1, just 3 bits. Meanwhile, 10 is going to be 4 bits. So when I start looping one after the other, one may arrive the end before. So maybe what I should do is fill in. I need to fill in the one with the lowest number of bits. How do I do that? So this is a string. This converts to binary and return it in form of a string. So one of the way I can fill it is maybe converting it into array so that I can manipulate, because remember, strings are immutable. So if this is 7, it's going to return 1 1 1. If I have to compare 7 and 10, it means I need to fill 7 with a 0 here. So I should probably convert it to array. So I'll just split like that. Okay, now I want to take the longest one. Which is the longest of both? If number one's length is greater than number 2's length, then the longest length is name1. Else is name2's length. Yep. So I have to take the shortest one. Thinking about how to do this. Let me just identify the names in a string format so that I can use it later. So if the longest is the first number, then I have to fill the second number. So while the second number's length is different from the first one's length, what do? I have to fill the second number's length. So I have to add zeros in the beginning. Else, this else means if the longest is instead the second number, it means I have to fill the first number. Okay, at the end of the day they should have the same length. Let's just see. Name1, name2. Okay, this is the same number. That's for 1 and 2. What about the other tests? Okay, no big deal. Anyway, now they have the same number, so I want to look through each. So inside my for loop, first of all, I want to keep a counter that's going to count the number of ones that match. So counter is 0. Now I have my for loop. I start at 0, while I is less than the length of any one of them, either length 1 or length 2. So I'm going to check if names1 of I is equals to 1. Remember they are strings now. Is equals to 1, and same thing from use to insert I is also equal to 1. So as I'm looping, if the bit at that particular ith position is equal to 1 for both numbers, what do? I increment the counter. At the end of the day, if counter is in fact I should return expression if counter is greater than 2. Run. I failed. Let me console log. Also, let me console log the original numbers. So I'm debugging right now. So this is A. This is B. I should probably display the array so that we can have more visibility about the bits. So this is num1. This is num2. I want to put both numbers beside so that I can be sure that the conversion took place correctly. Those are the original numbers and this is conversion. This is 1 and 2. Converted is this 1 and 1 0. Sixteen and 8, we get this. This is great. Conversion is great. Now, what about this bit? Now we need to display this after we've added zeros to the shortest one. What do we get? I'm just echoing. So let's take this example. This is 16 and 8 converted to binary. This is it. After adding zeros, this is it. This is great. Now, what about the counter? Counter returns 0. Yeah, so we should get a false. Console.log this is greater or equal to 2. is this is greater or equal to 2 or greater than 1. That was the error. So let me attempt. So that's it, guys. I can just clean up this code, remove all the console logs. So we have this one. The principle is simple. First, I convert the numbers to binary, then to binary in a string format, then to arrays, and then I collect the name of the one with the longest number of bits, and then I take the shortest one and feed it with 0 in the beginning so that they can be the same, and then I chronologically look through both numbers and check if both bits at a particular index I is 1. If that's the case, I increment the counter. Then if the counter is greater than or equal to 2, I return true, else false. So guys, thanks for listening, and you can comment ways of optimizing this code, and